Welcome to a special fun edition of Crawford County Outdoors. We're at Pymatuning State Park today with Emily Bortz. Emily, this is Winter Fun Day.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little history about how this all, how this all come together? And it's been gone for a while.
Oh, this has been well, yeah. So it's been gone for 2 years. So the last time we had it was in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. But yeah, the Winter Fun Day has been going on for, oh my gosh, decades. And so we're really happy to finally have it back here after the pandemic's over. We have lots of exhibitors and vendors out here today. So the Snowmobile Club, the Trailblazer Snowmobile Club, is the one that in the past has helped coordinate the event, and so they're here with their vintage snowmobile sleds, and they have a raffle and stuff happening inside. And then we also now we also have involvement from the local Boy Scout troop number 50, so they wanted to kind of help bring it back to its kind of heyday, and so they're here selling food in hopes of raising some money for their troop. And then we also, the park obviously is involved with a station here talking about birds and mammals and just kind of things that you might see around the lake. But some of the other exhibitors we have, the Pennsylvania Game Commission is here with their wildlife trailer talking about the wildlife of Pennsylvania. We have Misty Lane Farms doing horse-drawn wagon rides. The Girl Scouts, it's the James Green Girl Scout troop, so Girl Scout troops from Jamestown and Greenville. They're doing kids crafts inside, and also just kind of giving out information about the Scouts, signing up for the Scouts and being involved in that. We have BC Bait Company here. They're doing selling some bait, but they're also going to be doing some ice fishing demos down at the docks at Jamestown Marina here at noon today.
So now I was told that there's going to be a jump in the water here coming up here. What's up with that?
Yeah, so that is Relay for Life, their polar bear plunge. So that happens today as well. I don't know what their numbers are. I don't know if you talked to them, but it seemed like they had a really good turnout to raise money for cancer research and things like that. So for the Relay for Life.
So it's still winter. Typically this time of year we've got lots of snow on the ground, but this year it's been kind of weird. I mean, it warmed up last week and everything melted, but it does look like there's still some ice on the lake behind us there.
Yeah, there's a little ice on the lake. We think maybe about an inch. Definitely not enough to be on the ice. It's not thick enough to hold anybody's weight.
So yeah, we kind of. How are the polar plungers going to get through the ice?
Yeah, so the park actually broke through the ice, and then they put a little bubbler in there to keep it clear of ice for the people to get in. But yeah, so we just kind of had to revamp. These days we don't really rely on winter too much to be here consistently through the winter, so we kind of knew there might not be any snow or ice, so we tried to have all the activities going on today be something that you could do even if there was no snow or ice. So.
There sure seems to be a ton of people here, and everybody's buzzing around and having a great time.
Yeah, it's a good turnout. We're really happy to see it. Like I said, the Snowmobile Club and the Scouts and us, we are all hoping to kind of bring Winter Fun Days kind of back to what it used to be in its heyday, a big community event. People are really excited to kind of have it back and have something to do in the winter time.
Now, is this a big deal for Pymatuning? Does this happen at other places, or is it just here?
It's a big deal for Pymatuning, but we also, a lot of our state parks in Pennsylvania have winter festivals happening. Okay. So Marines was last weekend. Cook Forest is coming up next weekend. So lots going on in the winter just for people to kind of get out and learn a little bit and see a little bit.
In Crawford County, this is convenient because it's like real close by.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you for having us out today. Okay. We're really looking forward to seeing all the stuff going on.
Thanks for being here. Thanks.
So joining us now from the Pennsylvania Game Commission, Lindsay.
Yes.
And Megan.
Megan.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Crawford County Outdoors. So, can you talk about how you got involved in this event and what you guys are here for?
So we got involved, invited by the Pennsylvania DCNR to help out with this event, provide a little bit of information as far as what you can do for outdoor activities during the winter. And as most people of Pennsylvania know, the hunting tradition is very strong, and it's one of those activities that span throughout the fall and throughout the winter, especially this time of year. We're involved in various hunting and trapping activities. Actually, I do believe today is the opening day of otter season.
Oh, wow. But Pennsylvania is one of, I think it's one of the best states in the country for hunters. I have awesome hunting dogs in my house, English Springer Spaniels, and they just love to get out, and we love. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And now deer season is a close second. But the pheasant season is great. So Crawford County has, I think, if I read this right in the manual that comes with the Game Commission, that's the most game lands that get stocked birds in all of Pennsylvania. I think it was 15 or 16 or 17, something like that. And I was counting all the rest of them, and Crawford County had the most places that got stocked.
We've got a large number of birds that they tend to put out. Our food and cover crews work really hard with making sure that they stock the birds, that the hunters have equal activity. It's a little hard with all the swamp around this area, but we make sure that they have plenty of time for it.
When I was first learning about that, an old-timer friend said, "Oh, the pheasants won't get their feet wet." I'm like, I've been going that for like 40 years or whatever, and it's like that's totally wrong. They love the edge of the swamp, you know. They love where the field stops and the brush starts, or where the trees start and the swamps, you know, stops or whatever. That's where they hide, you know. So, and my dogs know that, and it's like I just watch the dogs. I follow the dogs, you know, and they find the birds. So, and we love to have those pheasant recipes. Oh, they're just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Venison too. We had a great venison recipe recently here on the show, and actually we might have another one today here. We'll see if we can get Chef Lisa to help us out today. So for down the road here, are events like this going to happen, you know, pretty regularly?
The Game Commission tries to get involved with its community and outreach as much as possible. It depends on the availability with wardens during hunting seasons, and that's also affects our availability. But we offer a lot of programs for sporting clubs, for events like this with DCNR and our other parks that we pair up with. We try to maintain as much community outreach as we can. We're actively involved with the Crawford County Fair. We usually have a booth that we maintain.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks guys for being with us here today.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm from Conneaut Lake, and I'm here enjoying this beautiful winter fun days at Pymatuning. Couldn't ask for a better day. The sun's shining, there's hardly any wind. The only bad thing, we can't ice fish. There's no safe ice on the lake. But other than that, it's a beautiful time. Enjoy.
So you can't have Winter Fun Day without having Lisa making a recipe.
That's right.
Lisa, what's your idea for today?
Today is venison sausage soup with lots of vegetables.
Oh wow!
And
I always say this, but you don't have to use venison sausage. You could use any kind of sausage.
Okay.
But we're using venison sausage today because that's what we have a freezer full, so that's what we use. And it's, you know, again, an easy recipe, very hearty, great for a cold, slushy, wintry day like today.
I was out running the dogs today, and it's like it was raining, it was snowing, it was slushing, and now it's like it kind of got my sinuses all.
Well, perfect day for soup for you.
Yay,
that
yay.
will help you.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. So we're heating up our pan. We're going to add a pound of sausage. Of course, this is venison sausage. And with it, we're going to add, this is about 3 carrots,
Okay.
2 ribs of celery, about a medium onion diced, and 1 red pepper. So,
Yay.
you ready?
Yes.
Hopefully we hear the sizzle. We always like to hear the sizzle.
My favorite part.
Yeah. Oh,
There's the
sizzle.
sizzle.
All right. I'll take that and we'll just put these all in there, Dwayne.
So we're just gonna kind of brown the
Yep, brown and break it up.
sausage and break it up in little crumbs.
Yep. And I'll just keep adding the vegetables. My favorite thing, of course. And we just really want the sausage browned and the onions translucent. So about 5 minutes, that's
Okay.
kind of a good thing.
Those peppers want to stick in there.
There you go. We want those
Okay, got
peppers. Yep. So yeah, this should help you.
The fun day. The kids were getting to ride, being pulled behind the tractor, and little. It almost looked like oil cans, you know,
Right.
that were converted into little cars.
It's
for
like,
them to
okay,
ride
okay.
home.
All right.
There were draft horses pulling a big wagon, and people
fun.
riding in the big wagon. I did some interviews. I did some interviews with the game commissioner. I did some interviews with the Pymatuning State folks,
That's
and
great.
the coolest thing probably was the polar plunge.
Oh, they did a polar plunge.
They set it up so that now this winter's been kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there was ice. There was ice on the lake.
Really? Okay.
But they set up something that bubbled so it wouldn't let the ice build up right
Okay.
in the area where they were doing the plunge.
Okay. All right.
And so when the lifeguards went in, they had to kind of snap some of the ice and kind of push it back.
Sure.
And it was maybe an inch thick, something
Yeah.
like that.
Nothing major though.
But this winter's been so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we had frozen pipes at our house. That hasn't happened for 20-something years.
Right. But then we have 60-degree weather.
But now that it jumped up it jumped way up and everything
Yeah.
melted, you know, and
Yeah.
then it's coming back again. And
Right. I know. It's kind of hard to determine what's going to happen throughout. You look at the forecast, it's like one day it's 60, the next day there's slush and snow. And it's kind of been up and down.
and then,
so
today's that slush and snow day.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
combination of snow and then slush and then rain. And now
Right.
I think right this minute it's raining out there.
it
but it's-
is right at the
but
moment.
It's turning the snow from earlier into slush. Yeah.
Right. And I noticed that the trees were all glistening. There was ice on
They
the
were hanging-
trees.
hanging-
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a soup day.
So it's winter fun day.
That's right. Winter fun day. Time for some good soup. Yeah, I think you're going to like this one. And that's looking good in there. Yeah, we just want to make sure that it's browning. I'm just going to move it over just a little bit. Because once this is brown, what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic,
Okay.
a teaspoon and a half of Italian seasoning,
Okay.
and a teaspoon and a half of salt.
Yay.
And that's only going to take about a minute to just get the
Get those
flavors
things blended in.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the chicken broth. And when we do that, then, it's a matter of kind of bringing the temperature up a little bit, letting it simmer so that the vegetables get to cook and the flavors all mix together. And then at the last minute, we throw in some spinach, and we throw in, well, actually, even before that, you typically would put the ditalini in. Now I have about 1.5 cups of that here. You can use any kind of pasta you want. And throw the spinach in at the last minute, and then voila, your dinner is ready. Because once this is cooked, I mean, if you leave it on for 10-15 minutes, it's going to cook the pasta, and your spinach is going to, melt right in there. You know how that you put a big bunch of it in, and then all of a sudden it seems like you didn't put any in there because it just melts right in, and then it's ready. So this is a pretty quick dinner. I mean, one pot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's easy to make. But we are going to talk about at the end. I probably won't throw in the pasta. And there's a couple reasons why I don't throw in the pasta. Now, if you're making this for right now, absolutely. But, you know, I did make one earlier today so that we could taste it.
Okay.
So we do have 2 pots going. I will tell everybody at the end when we would typically put this in. But I plan, because we have 2 of them, to freeze one. And
Okay.
one of my tips for freezing soups is if it's a soup that has a pasta in it, freeze the pasta, or I'm sorry, freeze the soup without the pasta in it, because pasta unfrozen is not,
Does that look?
well, it smells great. That looks good. A little bit longer and I think we're ready.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah, frozen pasta does not taste good when you take it out of the freezer. So, and another reason I don't throw this in is because in my house, I noticed that when you put the pasta in the soup, it sucks up a lot of the broth. So I tend to make this on the side and then let everybody put how much they want in their bowl of soup.
Sure.
So I'll tell everybody when it's time to drop this in there so that it can cook, but I'm probably not going to do it, but I wanted to have it out so everybody would see. Of course, they're going to see our final product, so.
And what you just said, that's the exact same thing we do with our venison chili.
Yes.
Is we make a little, you know, elbow macaroni or something, and then let people pick as much
Put
as
what they want
throw
in
that
there.
in.
You think that looks good?
It's good.
I was going to say another minute. We'll let those,
Okay.
the onions just need to get a little bit more translucent, but
It's like when they get clear, that's when they're ready, right?
Yep.
Yep.
At first they start to sweat and then they get clear.
They're still a little white,
Yeah, yeah.
just a little.
So the kids had fun.
Oh my, it was really something. There must have been 40 people, maybe even more, that did the polar plunge.
That's amazing.
Now,
I'm
they
not
didn't
sure.
They didn't stay in the water very long.
Okay, I'm not sure I could do it, but yeah, I can understand why.
Several people asked me, "Are you doing the plunge? You know, do you have a waterproof camera?" No waterproof camera. No, I'm not doing the plunge.
Not
I'm just
gonna-
standing on the side.
Yeah, not going to do that this time. I'll be a spectator for this one. But you said about 40 people.
It was at least, it might even have been more. It was really something.
Wow.
It was very interesting.
Wow.
It was
Very,
fun day.
I guess it's very cleansing. I don't know. It just sounds a little cold for me. I'm not big into that. So
I can't. That doesn't strike me as something that I would want to do either.
no.
A lot of people did it, and they were good. They were good with it. So.
That's good. I'm sure they had a good time. That's fun.
How's that looking?
Yeah, I think that looks good. So we're going to add the I do 2 garlic cloves. It says about 2 teaspoons
Okay.
of garlic. Now the smell's really going to come out because that garlic. And we're going to do our Italian seasoning, 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And we'll mix that and heat it up for about a minute. I'm just going to move you over just a little bit, Dwayne. And you can smell that? That smells great.
Yes, it sure does.
And then I will get our broth ready. This calls for 7 cups. I put a little bit more than that in,
Okay.
8 to 10. I want more broth in my soup, again, because the noodles tend to soak that up. And it tastes just as good with a little bit more. It's not going to hurt it, but you can do it exactly. You know, if you want to do the 7, you can do that. That's not a problem. I like a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, and you can do a low sodium. I think one of mine is a low sodium and one of mine isn't.
Looking like the onions are kind of getting transparent there.
Yeah, it smells really good.
I definitely smell the spices. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
we'll give it another minute there and then we're going to dump in our broth, and then really it's a matter of letting it, we'll put a lid on it, we'll let the temperature go up and get it up to a boil again, then we'll simmer it for a few minutes. But in the meantime, we can get out our other one and show them
Yay.
what a finished product looks like and do our favorite thing, which
Yay.
is be a taste
Sample.
taste
Yes.
testers. Yeah, so. Okay, do you want to show them? You want to lift that up so they can see how good that looks? They can't smell it, but they can see it.
Really nice.
Yep. I got to invest in some see-through pans so everybody can see what you're doing.
How do you do that?
I don't know. There's got to be something out there. So there's some right there.
So do you have like the salt-free chicken broth?
That's a low sodium. This one isn't, but
That's
the
the
one
regular,
is. Yeah,
okay.
that's, whoops, I'm making a mess. I tend to do that.
Well, you aren't having fun unless you make a mess.
That's right.
That's kind of like the polar plunge.
Oh, that's called crazy cold.
It was interesting that they had the whole beach area was the only place where there wasn't ice. And I guess there was something they had that was making bubbles that was like, kept the ice from forming there.
Right.
And I noticed when the lifeguards, they went in, they had their, chest high waders and all that kind of
Right.
stuff on it. And they kind of broke the ice around the edges and pushed it back a little bit
That's
more.
neat. I would have never thought about that.
That was really something.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to let this rest. I'm going to turn down just a little bit. We want to bring the temperature up, bring it about to a boil. And at that point, we would, if you're somebody who you're going to eat it right now, you're going to throw in your noodles.
Now, do you put that in at the very last minute? Or?
I like to about 5 minutes before we're going to eat it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, bring the temperature up. Then you would throw in about a cup and a half of ditalini or whatever pasta you choose. Let it simmer for about 5-10 minutes after that. And then at the last 5 minutes, you can throw in your it's a good bunch. I mean, I think it calls for a cup. It calls for chopped. I just throw it in there. That's just me, but you can do however you want. But we'll let this simmer. And really, it's pretty much done because all you have to do is bring the temperature up and put the pasta in, and then your spinach, which
this was a relatively simple project.
It really is. It really is.
Okay.
But now, Dwayne, the proof is in the tasting.
Yes.
So I made one of these earlier today, and I thought you'd want to try it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've got another pan of this, and this has noodles and spinach and everything that we like in it. I'm prepared.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get you a little more broth. There you go. That's really hot. And one thing that's really good on this is shaved Parmesan.
Oh, okay.
So one thing you can, to serve it.
You can add that on after if that's a favorite.
Yeah. Did you get ditalini in yours?
What's that?
I think the pasta sunk to the bottom. Oh, let me get you some ditalini.
Okay.
You got to have some of that pasta that I put in there. There you go. All right. Don't burn yourself. Look at how beautiful that is.
That is really cool.
Real, light, lots of vegetables, healthy. I don't want to get that spinach there. What do you think?
Oh, wow. That is wonderful. It is really hot.
Mm-hmm. There's something about sausage in a recipe. It just gives it that little bit of extra flavor.
Mm.
I mean, I make cheeseburger soup all the time, and with burger and deer burger, and it is really good. But there's just something to be said about sausage.
Mm. Well, Lisa, that's awesome.
I hope that helps your throat.
I can tell it already is.
Awesome.
It
I'm doing
already
my job then. Great.
So it's Winter Fun Day, so how could we not? Yeah.
That's right. This is fun.
Well, big thanks to the folks at Pymatuning for organizing that whole thing.
Oh, for sure.
And for those that did interviews with us, that was great. And the polar plungers, that was really something. So,
Aww.
and thank you for the awesome recipe.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thank you to the folks at home for joining us for Crawford County Outdoors. And we will talk to you next time. And I am finishing my
Back
venison
to the
sausage soup.
Yes.